Welcome to my backup channel, guys. So, I know y'all all seen what's really going on with between like Rye and Cardi B and stuff. And so it's real interesting to hear that they, ran into each other in the Cannes airport this summer in France. Nobody ever saw that coming in. And Cardi was saying something like she been waiting for this moment for years and stuff like that. But then she also tried to make it seem like she's nonchalant and she don't really care about this drama and this beef or whatever, which is a lie, obviously, because like she said, she'd been waiting for this moment and stuff about like getting her look back and stuff like that. And I can sort of understand because it was a huge moment in her career or just in her existence coming into fame, and it wasn't really a good look for her. Like we've been going on about her and the knot on her head for all these years. And so I can understand. However, she was talking about how, like, she finally admitted that it was Ra who, hit her instead of security, like, holding her down in the original altercation with Nicki during the Harper's Bazaar event. And yeah, like, I really don't even care too much about that. Like, y'all know me, like, I really do not care about like drama when it comes to Cardi because it's just so like not interesting for real, for real. But what I really want to do, as always, is let's really talk about like what does this tell us about Nikki and Raj's relationship. Now we gonna pause because I feel, I would say, a little bit vindicated, but not really. Wait, by the way, did you guys like the video yet? And also, like this is me, so it's like make sure that you guys subscribe to the backup channel because like I think like this is where when I want to speak on like drama and things that are like business things, I will put it on my backup channel or my Patreon. So I will put that below for you guys. But yeah, so hmm, what was I saying? Um, okay, right. So back in 2024, right? Okay. All 2024 when Nikki was on tour, and if I have the video, I will upload it because I already talked about the state of Nikki and Rod's relationship in 2024, which is really one of the main reasons I'm making this video because as always I've been said it. But when I was saying it, of course, not many people really wanted to hear it. And I didn't face too much backlash. But once again, y'all cupcakes be in the comments like, oh my God, no, like everything is perfect. Like their friends, like Ryan is so loyal and da 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 da. And you like literally ignore the signs that are in front of your face. And if that's the one things that you take from listening to my commentary, that's just what I want you guys to take. Like once again, like we all only see what these celebrities want us to see. But if you're gonna be smart, then you need to really look at what is being said and not being said, reading between the lines, what's being posted, what's not being posted, who's showing up versus who's not showing up, for you to really understand what's really going on. Because of course they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you their real tea until it's 5 years removed. NT way, so we know Nikki and Rod to be real tight. Now they've had up and downs in their relationship because back in the day, what maybe in 2016, 17, I don't really know, they probably had fell out or whatever, but it seemed like they've been rocking heavy ever since I think the altercation with Cardi. I mean, obviously they were friends before that, but I don't really know, right? But like they've been rocking heavy for the past couple of years, so much so that Ra actually started on Station Head first, right? And then when Nikki finally joined Station Head around this time, actually in 2022, with the release of Super Freaky Girl, she used to host and co-host shows with Ra and talk about the music, the rollouts, and whole contests. Like that's how Nikki first started off on Station Head, right? 2022, early 2023. But then that subsided. Ross stopped doing station head, and started to focus more on her businesses and outside businesses in terms of her blog and on site. And, while Nicki, rolled out her album and went on tour, right? So let's jump into Nicki being on tour. Nicki being on tour in 2024, Letitia, forgot, I don't know what her name is, but if you just go and like search up like who Ra is following, search up like this girl named Letitia, because that is the makeup artist that Nicki was using for um the first part of the tour at least, right? And she's a very good makeup artist. And I don't think it was Nicki's first time using her on that tour in 2024. But what you need to know is that this makeup artist is very, very close friends with Ra Ali. And I think one of the ways that she even got the job working for Nicki is because Ra recommended her. And of course, if Nicki and Ra are friends, right? And Rob recommends a friend. Nikki's probably like, "Oh yeah, cool, come on, come work with me." But obviously, for those of you who are paying attention, I called out, very early on in the tour, honestly, probably from the first show, about what I didn't really like about like Nikki's appearance and stuff like that. And her makeup was okay, but like, and I'm talking about, because I'm like literally thinking about the first night of tour. Her makeup was impeccable, okay, but her makeup. The quality of her makeup was inconsistent throughout the tour. Like some nights it was really, really bad. Even when she even got to Europe on the second leg. However, so it got so bad. Nikki's makeup got so bad to the point where last summer, around this time last summer, she sees fan chatter, but she ignores it, right? I'm talking about Nikki, right? She'll try to ignore it, but it was so bad at one point where, and I was on a hiatus at this time, right? Not even on a timeline like that. But Nikki comes on Station Head and she basically says, like, oh, just things that are true, right? Which is like, oh, like, you know, um, sometimes you don't have an hour and a half to do your makeup. You only have 10 minutes, you only have 15 minutes, and da 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 da. And it's just like, kind of like giving excuses or whatever. And honestly, like, okay, yeah, that's very understandable, but like at the end of the day, like you gotta give what I don't know what's going on with you and your styling team, but you need to give your styling team makeup, especially, an adequate amount of time to do your face. I mean, it's your face. You're on the biggest tour of your life. Like, like this is really nothing to play with. That was my whole attitude, like when it came to the tour. Like let's treat this as what it is. And it's not even only about being punctual and being on time, because we know that Nikki has an issue with that. But when you go into work, it's not just about being on time. It's about the work environment that is created, right? And that allows everyone to function properly. And when you're working with an artist and you're moving around every day, it's a very chaotic environment, especially if you've seen behind the scenes videos of Nikki getting ready to get on stage, right? It's a very chaotic environment, along with any other interpersonal issues, personality things that may be going on, right? And so I think that it really showed me the whole situation. And remember, we I'm gonna get this back to Ross, so bear with me. Make sure you like the video, okay? We only halfway through the story, but stay seated. Anyway, so um yeah, her makeup looking crazy on tour. At some point, she fires this girl, and honestly, it was still not looking the best to me. Whatever, but she fires the girl, right? So when she fires the girl, I'm following this makeup artist because I follow a lot of people that Nikki may work with, because we want to keep up with them. Like, I be watching her story and everything. So I stay watching her story, especially if I know that you're on tour and traveling with Nicki Minaj, right? So I'm gonna stay watching her story. Then when she was done working with Nicki, literally, like, I don't even know how long it was, the next day or a week after, it was like she was posted up with Ra Ali and a couple other girlfriends, and they were at brunch. Now, Ra, I believe, is based in Florida, maybe in Miami. And so they go out a lot and shit like that. And I'm like, okay, Well, we don't really know why Nicki and the makeup artist stopped working with each other. Of course, the makeup wasn't coming out good, but it's not because the makeup artist is a bad makeup artist. She's a really good makeup artist. Go look on her page. Like go look, like she's a really good makeup artist, right? And so that's why I have to say that it's not only about like having adequate time. It's about what's really going on between Nikki and her team. Obviously, she is not the easiest person to work for, and tour is very stressful. If you were really observing and paying attention and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of tension and high emotion and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't really think that Nikki is the easiest to work with in an environment like that. And so who knows? Like, I don't know whose fault it is, but for whatever reason, obviously something happened to where either the makeup artist wasn't getting enough time or there were other interpersonal issues as to why their synergy was out of place and she ultimately had to stop working for her. Now let's leave that there because I don't know the true reason why, but we just know that if your work ain't coming out all that good, there's a chemistry issue there, right? Okay, cool. Now let's move on. Now she not working for Nikki anymore. She posted up with Ryder next week. So I'm like, okay, we all know how Nikki is when we not working with her no more, right? So let's say whatever it was, right? But this is the thing right here. If shit don't work out with Nicki Minaj, Rod was the reason you got the job. Now Nicki fired you when you back with Rod hanging out. Ain't nothing wrong with that because they've been friends, right? What you think that the makeup artist was telling Ra, right? And not that she gotta wait till she get back. She could be texting Ra the whole time. So my point is that Ra now knows what went down between Nikki and the makeup artist and how shit was really going on tour. Now notice that we never really saw that's why I can't wait and see if I could pull up the video because I'm gonna drop it. I said all of this last year, by the way, so you're late. Make sure you're subscribed, okay? Because I be calling it because I was tracking all of this. As I'm telling you a year later, I'm telling my other followers in real time. And so, they posted up or whatever. Obviously, they spilling tea. Because yes, that was one of the captions on her story. She was like, we gossiping, catching up. So I'm like, oh, what they gossiping about could be anything, right? But okay, we know that you obviously you got Nikki T, but okay, we know how Nikki is. She's a very territorial person. So if something goes wrong with the makeup artist, then the makeup artist back posted up with your friend, best friends. Obviously that they're talking about you. That obviously Nikki ain't gonna be cool with that, and I might feel some type of way about that as well, right? Not saying anything really wrong with it, but what I'm saying is all of that considered, why we ain't see Ra Ali at the tour? I never saw Ra not once. And to be, one of Nikki's main friends that people know, whether they industry or not, real friends or not, industry friends or not, she should have been there. If she was someone who was like helping Nikki with her rollouts, being that one friend that Nikki could call on station head when she wants to talk about music and get into things with fans, like Ra was that person. So to not see Ra on tour at all, it was really like eye opening to me. And that's why I called it from 2024 that something is not right here. So let's fast forward to what just happened with Cardi B, right? Because I was telling someone else, yeah, F everything that's going on with Cardi B. Ra was the one who opened up the conversation for her podcast and stuff like that. I wonder, how do you think that Nikki feels about this, right? About this coming back up, but Ra was the one who brought it up. Do you think that she feels good about that or what? Now, at this point, now that people are, it's the news is circulating, people are finding out. They're finally finding out that Nikki and Ra unfollowed each other. And I'm just like, but I told you guys this last year. And you guys were like, I literally remember being live on YouTube once and people were in the comments like, oh, no, they're friends. They're friends. Ra's the only real bitch. Of course, now all of the barbs is dragging her because y'all flip floppy. Y'all flip quick of a drop. Now, once again, we don't know what really possibly allegedly could have happened between Ra, right? I didn't even yeah, I didn't even know that like Nicki really unfollowed her, but then to find out that like Ra unfollowed her back. Okay, whoa. So yeah, like obviously like there it doesn't really feel like they're on speaking terms. And honestly, anyway. Um so yeah, like I don't know how Nikki feels about it. You guys let me know how you think she feels, and you can say you she don't care or whatever the fuck. I don't really don't care. But um I would feel like it's kind of weird because like everybody says at the end of the day, yeah, Cardi getting traction or whatever for her album or whatever, I guess. But like y'all are still engaging with it anyway, So it's like we're all feeding into that. So yeah, like I think that I don't even know. Like I feel like these issues like are so trivial. This beef is so trivial that like we obviously see Nikki going at powerful people in the industry right now. So for me to sit here and say like Nikki cares, like this is the last thing that she would probably care about right now. So yeah, I think that's how I feel about it. But my thing is like a lot of people be dragging Cardi and stuff like that, and I guess rightfully so. But at the end of the day, you always have to pay attention to like who started it. Like, and in this case, Ross started it. She brought it back up. Now, Cardi, I'm gonna say the same thing because I say it to Nikki all the time. Just because somebody bring you up, just because somebody talk about you, don't mean that you have to respond. And in Cardi's response to Rod that I heard of her on Spaces, Cardi still has a lot of growing up to do because she's still in this like look back mentality and oh, when I see you, what's on site? And it's like, girl, like you gotta really grow up, like seriously. Like you have all of these court cases based on your violence and your lack of control when it comes to your emotions and your anger, and you still be ready to pop off because you want to show that you some tough bitch. Like it's time to let that shit go, Cardi. Like it's time to live for yourself, like live for your kids, like step into the upper echelon of life that you have had the opportunity of entering. Hello. So and once again, all parties involved have accountability to take in the situation. But at the end of the day, like I don't even really know, honestly, like if I'm mad at Ra for doing it because she got her podcast going. But I think it's kind of weird how Ra chose to talk about it with Ray Daniels, another executive in the industry. I just feel like why now? Like Rob been putting out her podcast. She honestly could have talked about it anytime. This incident happened a month ago, allegedly. So it's like you could have talked about it anytime. Why with Ray Daniels, who, yeah, he in the industry, but he a exec. He not really like no gossipy type nigga. Even though, he started his own platform and he get into the shits a little bit, but mainly when it comes to like industry tea and stuff like that. For me, this is a bit more gossipy, which is why it's not on my main channel. It's on my backup because I really want to try to keep my main channel focused on business stuff, like. And so yeah, so I don't know, that's how I'm feeling at the moment. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments about like the breakdown in Nikki and Ra's relationship and why they may not be seeing eye to eye right now. Do you guys even think that when Ra ran into Cardi in the airport, do you think that Ra texted Nikki and said, "Hey, guess who I ran into?" Or do you think that they have had no communication about this incident and Nikki found out everything today? You let me know. I could see it happen in both ways, but I'm leaning more towards they didn't have any communication, and Nikki is probably just finding it out. And let me tell you this other thing, one more thing. Y'all still here with me? Please make sure to like the video, bro. That's literally all I want. And make sure y'all subscribe with y'all notifications on, because drops on this channel gonna be sporadic. But when I need to get into the tea, I need to get into the tea, right? So anyway, see, the other thing why I don't really think that Nikki cared too much is because it serves as a distraction, right? Like just a couple of days ago, Kenneth Petty had a settlement meeting with Jennifer Huff and their attorneys and stuff like that, talking about a possible settlement, which ain't really going good because they're not really close to any agreements. But yeah, like Nikki been posting stuff and getting glammed up, and she flew out Tay and stuff like that for what we don't really know. Barb's been asking her to do the high school challenge. I personally really don't care, but to me, that was her way of like giving people something to talk about. Like this week on Station Head, like she actually got into some things. Even it was riddles, but it was something to talk about. Like no music until the documentary drops, which won't happen until the Jay-Z shit gets solved and stuff like that. So you have to pay attention to like what's happening and what else is happening. Nikki's talking a lot about, oh, Jay-Z and Desiree Perez, they trying to distract y'all from their lawsuits. But no, Nikki been trying to distract us from whatever she want to distract us from. That been happening for like 2 years now. But you gotta also understand that Nikki be trying to distract anytime something comes up with Kenny and his case. And that's indeed why one of the reasons why she had Tay fly out the other night. Because she ain't she could have she could get glammed up anytime, right? She could have been getting glammed up for court. She could have been getting glammed up to do the high school challenge or to shoot anything in the world, but she just had to do it the night before, like their court appointment was. So it's just like, and overall, what I'm saying is that this serves as it's getting you guys and us to talk about something else rather than what we could be talking about. You get it. All right, cool. So you stay woke because let me tell you, I don't care who we talking about, whether it's Desiree Perez, Jay Z, or Nicki Minaj or Megan Thee Stallion. Bitch, nobody is distracting me from their lawsuits yet. Nicki wanted to wake up all the tea on everybody else's lawsuits, but they still got one going on right up in their house. So yeah. Anyway, the main topic was Nikki and Rod's relationship. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Don't be distracted. Stay woke to everything that's going on. All court cases involved. Kenneth Petty, Jennifer Huff, Desiree Perez, Demori Hadley, Jay Z, Ryan Satterwhite. Yeah, everybody got skeletons in their closet, and we waking it up all 2025. Thank you so much for getting to the end. If you did like the video, come visit me on my main channel, Destiny Reloaded, and come find me on Patreon at Destiny Reloaded. There, yo, I talked about Nikki hiring Barb's like expose shit about the industry and shit like that, but you could only find that on Patreon in my Inside Thoughts tier. So I'll see you there. Peace.